To all the grown-ups listening, in 18 days, you can sign your family up for Curious Camp. It's an at-home, interactive, self-paced, and screen-free week-long experience hosted by me. For more information, visit CuriousKidsEveryday.com/camp. It's Curious Kids Weekend Picks, where a kid from the Curious Kids Club gets to pick the episode. So, what episode are we going to hear today?
Hi Josh, my name is Cami and my favorite episode is How a Roller Coaster is Safe.
Hi, welcome to Curious Kids Every Day. I'm Josh. How are you doing today? It's so good to hear from you. Hey, have you ever been on a roller coaster? Oh, I love roller coasters. My boys are getting tall enough now that they can ride roller coasters too. In fact, every single time we go to a theme park, there are more rides that they are tall enough to ride. So every time we go, it's a big event. Our favorite theme park is a place called Dollywood. And the first thing we do when we get there every time we go is get the boys measured so that they can get their ride bracelets. See, each ride bracelet has a specific color that lets you know what rides you can ride. And then they hand you a piece of paper that has a list of all the rides in the park, and each ride has a color. So, for example, if you have a red bracelet and a ride on the list is written in red, then you know that you can ride that ride. Roller coasters are so fun because I love the way they make me feel, but, maybe even more than that, I'm just amazed by the people who build these huge machines. It's just amazing. Have you ever really just taken a good look at a roller coaster? I mean, just think about it. The trains, the tracks, the hills, the machines underneath, all of it. Who came up with this stuff? Who built all of this? How did they possibly do it? And how do they keep it all safe? The fun of a roller coaster is that it feels kind of dangerous. But somehow I don't think they would let you get on a roller coaster if you were really in danger. I love roller coasters so much that I've actually done a lot of research about all the things that they do to keep roller coasters safe. And let me tell you, they have come up with a lot of really clever ways to make sure that when you get on a roller coaster, you are actually super safe. I was thinking about roller coasters today because I got an email from a curious kid named Grayson. Grayson wondered, how are roller coasters made? How do they stay on the tracks? Well, today, let's talk about how roller coasters are made. And while we're doing that, let's talk about how they keep them safe. When a theme park wants to build a new roller coaster, the first thing that happens is that engineers and designers decide what kind of experience they want the riders to have. Should it be a super fast roller coaster? Or maybe a more chill family coaster? Should it have tall hills or twisty turns? Lots of flips or maybe gentle curves? They sketch out the ride and then use computers to design every single part very carefully. What's interesting about roller coasters is that you can't just decide, this should be this tall and then we can make it a really sharp curve this way, because the human body can only deal with so much G-force. Do you remember we talked about that before? Gravitational force? That's that feeling when you feel like you're floating in your seat when you're going over a hill on a roller coaster, or when you get to the bottom of the hill and you start going up another one and you feel like you're pressing down into your seat. Yeah, your body can only take so much of that. If those forces get too strong, it's not safe anymore. So roller coaster designers and engineers have to know exactly the right angles that they're going to build the ride at, the height of the hills, and then the speed the ride is going to go. All those things can be computed in a computer so that they know that the ride is going to be safe. And one of the most important things that designers have to think about is energy. See, when a roller coaster is pulled up its very first hill, it's being given something called stored energy. That energy comes from height. The higher the hill, the more stored energy the train has. Because when the train goes down the hill, that stored energy turns into motion. And the higher that thing is when it starts coming down, the faster it's going to be going. This is why the first hill is usually the tallest one. Once the design is finished, builders get to work on the real ride. Huge steel or wooden supports are built first. Have you ever seen a roller coaster and they've got those really big steel poles cemented into the ground? They hold everything up and keep it strong and steady. After that, the track is added piece by piece. Roller coaster tracks are shaped very carefully so that the train moves smoothly and safely. And roller coaster designers have gotten a lot better at this over the years. When I was a kid, roller coasters were a lot more jerky. Now they're very smooth. Now you might wonder how roller coasters stay on the track, especially when they go upside down. Well, the secret is in the wheels. Roller coaster trains actually have 3 sets of wheels. One set sits on top of the track, one set is on the side of the track, and one set is underneath the track. This means the train is locked onto the track from every direction, even during loops and flips. Now, before anyone ever rides a new roller coaster, it's tested over and over again. Engineers send empty trains through the track, and then weighted trains, and then trained testers. They measure the speed, they measure shaking, they measure everything to make sure everything works exactly as planned. And then once the ride is open to the public, they're still monitoring that thing every single day. That ride has sensors all over it that are tracking everything to ensure that everything about the ride is working properly. If any sensor detects that something is wrong, the whole ride will shut down. That way, everybody stays safe. Now, here's a really cool example of how roller coasters stay safe every day. Because have you ever noticed that some roller coasters actually have multiple train cars on the track at the same time? There might be a train about to launch at the same time that there's another train going over the first hill. At the same time, there's a train in the middle of the ride, and there might be another train coming back into the station. But how can there be more than one train on a roller coaster at the same time? What if something happened? What if they crashed into each other? This is where something called block brakes come in. And these are so cool. See, a roller coaster track is divided into special sections called blocks. Each block can only have one train in it at a time. So think about blocks like rooms in a house. A train is only allowed to enter the next room if that room is empty. At the end of many blocks, there's something called a brake section built right into the track. These brakes can do a few different things. They can, well, first they can do nothing and let the train pass normally, but they can also slow the train down a little bit, and they can also just stop the train completely if needed. See, here's how it works. Sensors on the track are always watching where each train is. If a train hasn't cleared the next block yet, the brakes will turn on and stop the train behind it. The roller coaster will not let a second train enter a block until the first train has safely moved out of it. But since the computer is constantly monitoring the speed and movement of all the trains on the track, sometimes the computer knows, hey, these trains are all in their own blocks, but we need that second train to slow down just a little bit more to make sure it doesn't end up in the block of the train ahead of it a little bit later on in the ride. That's when the block brakes turn on just a little bit, just enough to slow the train down a little bit, to keep all the trains separated the exact length they need to be. Isn't that cool? There are so many things that engineers do to ensure that roller coasters are safe. And if anything goes wrong, the whole ride stops until they can figure out how to fix the problem. That ensures that no one is ever riding a broken roller coaster. So the next time you ride a roller coaster, now you know how they build them and how they keep them safe. Hey, do you want to imagine that we're on a roller coaster right now? Okay. All right, we're in the station. Oh, the train's taking off. Going up the first hill. Oh boy. This is going to be a really fast roller coaster, I can tell, because this first hill is really high. We're going to have a lot of stored energy by the time we get up to the top of this thing. All right, we've reached the top, and here we go! All right, let's have a quick quiz. What gives a roller coaster its stored energy at the start of the ride? That would be height. And what part of a roller coaster holds everything up like bones? Those are called the supports. And how many sets of wheels does a roller coaster train usually have? That would be 3. Let's play true or false. True or false? The first hill on a roller coaster is usually the shortest one. No, that's false. It's usually the highest one. True or false? Roller coaster trains have wheels underneath the track. Oh yeah, that's true. True or false? Roller coasters are tested before people ride them. Definitely true. Would you rather ride the world's fastest roller coaster or a roller coaster that went through a huge tube under the water? Riding a roller coaster under the water sounds like a lot of fun. I am torn on this one. I think I'd rather ride the fastest roller coaster in the world. I would like to know what that feels like to go that fast on a roller coaster. I'll go with that one. Fastest roller coaster. I've always just really, really loved roller coasters. And it's so fun that now my boys are old enough that they can ride them too. I've always loved learning about how roller coasters work. They're just amazing pieces of technology. And I'm so grateful that I live in a time that has so many cool roller coasters to ride. And I'm grateful for how safe they are too. I'm not sure how fun roller coasters would be if they were super dangerous. I'd probably keep my feet on the ground in that case. What kind of question do you think we'll ask tomorrow on Curious Kids Every Day? I can't wait to find out. So until then, keep asking questions and stay curious, kids. And we've got some birthdays today. Harrison from North Carolina is turning 6. Happy birthday, Harrison. Ollie from Maryland is turning 4. Happy birthday, Ollie. Jack from New Jersey is turning 9. Happy birthday, Jack. Axel from Washington State is turning 1. Happy birthday, Axel. Emmett from Indiana is turning 6. Happy birthday, Emmett. Hunter from Ontario, Canada is turning 6. Happy birthday, Hunter. Cooper from Texas is turning 4. Happy birthday, Cooper. Nolan from Harmony, Alberta is turning 7. Happy birthday, Nolan. Frankie from Melbourne, Australia is turning 5. Happy birthday, Frankie. Charlotte from Florida is turning 4. Happy birthday, Charlotte. Quinn from Illinois is turning 6. Happy birthday, Quinn. Aria from, let me make sure I pronounce this right, Amherstburg, Ontario is turning 9. Happy birthday, Aria. Ronan from Belfast, Ireland is turning 6. Happy birthday, Ronan. Esme from Ohio is turning 7. Happy birthday, Esme. Juliet from Florida is turning 5. Happy birthday, Juliet. And Caleb from South Carolina is turning 8. Happy birthday, Caleb. To all the grown-ups listening, if your curious kid wants their birthday mentioned on the show, please visit supportcuriouskids.com and join the Curious Kids Club. That's supportcuriouskids.com. See you tomorrow.